Alright, shalom, shalom, it's the brother Kadash. Just a quick video on the Day of Atonement 2022. As you could hear, week pretty much. We just got done finished with it. I'm putting up this video after the Day of Atonement, but it's gonna be about the Day of Atonement, you know. And now that I'm actually trying to talk, I can actually see how weak I'm in. But I'm about to rehydrate now that it's over, pretty much. But pretty much just going on my experience of the Day of Atonement. For me, it's more of a just like a fresh start, you know. I look at it as just like a fresh start, you know. We go throughout the whole year, and you know, things happen, you know, and you get to getting on this brother, getting on that brother, going back and forth, you know. And the Day of Atonement come, it's just a day to atone for our sins, right? And then we could start off fresh and get back on the right track. And you know, that right track is following the ways of the Lord, you know, the ways of Yahweh Shai. That's the perfect example, you know. And this is Leviticus 23, verse 27. It says, also on the 10th day of the 7th month, which we know it's not the actual 7th month of you know, America's calendar. So it goes off the moon and everything like that, what month we're in and stuff like that. It says there should be a day of atonement. It should be a holy convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls and offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. And that's what it's about, afflicting your soul. So you can kind of hear it in my voice, you know, afflicting your souls. It's 24 hours. I believe I could possibly go 2 days. If I had to, I could probably go 2 days. If I had like some small amount of drinks and food, then I could go longer. But of course, the Day of Atonement, you're not supposed to eat or drink. Here, let me see if there's one on here, the next verse. You're not supposed to eat or drink, you know. So and you afflict your soul. So one of the things you learn is you're giving power to your soul over the flesh. You know, you're kind of training yourself, and you know, to have that power over the flesh, you know. So your flesh, you kind of start feeling hungry, you start feeling thirsty. And then another thing you learn is it's just a mental thing, you know. Your mind starts to think about food. But what I noticed, just like last year doing the Day of Atonement, one thing I noticed, if I'm busy, if I'm thinking about the truth, if I'm doing videos or breakdowns or studying, then I'm not really thinking about the food, so it goes by pretty easier. You know, it kind of like, here, saying I don't have no internet connection, which is very, very weird. Alright, here, let me see what's going on. Okay, right here. So, verse 27, we read verse 28, it says, and ye should do no work in that same day, for it is a day of atonement, to make atonement for you before the Lord your God. So it's really like kind of similar to a Sabbath day, except for you're not eating or you're not drinking, right? So you're not supposed to do no work, right? And it says, for whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day, he should be cut off from among his people. So this is very serious, you know, and we're commanded to keep the high holy days to the best of our ability. But one of the things I noticed, especially with like, even with people like Quana, this was his first year ever keeping it, and he was kind of scared leading up to it. Not really scared, but you know, wary. But one of the things he noticed, that it was pretty easy. That's one of the things he said. He said, look, it wasn't even that bad, you know. I thought that I was gonna be all hungry and having cravings and stuff, but it really wasn't that bad. You know, same thing with my wife. This was like her first year keeping it too, because she was she had just had child and stuff last year around this time. So she was keeping it, and she said the same thing. It wasn't that bad, you know. The more that you don't think about it, the easier that it is. And it's kind of like faith, you know. That's what I noticed last year. It's just like your faith, you know. What happened when Peter was walking on water? Because Peter actually showed spiritual power, because he was actually walking on water. Why? Because he actually believed. But when he started to doubt, that's when he started to fall in, and Yahweh Shai had to save him out. So it's the same thing with us, you know. When you believe, you know, you're gonna make it all the way to the end, man. But when you start to doubt things, then that's when you're gonna fall out. Same thing with the Day of Atonement, you know. When you just in the spirit, you know, and you going and you believe that you're going to make it through, and it's not hard and it's not that easy, kind of like well, it's not that hard, like a mental thing, you know, you make it through. But when you start to doubt, leading up to those last 2 hours, you start to doubt, you start thinking about that food, it starts getting harder and harder and harder. So you kind of got to like psych yourself out. But really it just comes down to belief, you know. That's what it is, you know. So it's the same thing with us in this truth. So this is kind of what I observed during the Day of Atonement, which is a great day. You know, you got to think about it like not just you, not just me that just kept this Day of Atonement. You know, hundreds, thousands and thousands of brothers around, you know, just kept this Day of Atonement today. We all kept it together. Brothers from different camps, brothers from different groups, brothers from all walks of life kept this fast with you on this Day of Atonement. So that's a very beautiful and great thing to even be a part of, you know. And these things aren't in vain. The Lord hears us, you know. He hears us atonement, our atonements for our sin. He hears the prayers that brothers was putting up, you know, because I know I put up some prayers and stuff like that, you know, especially with this place, Mystery Babylon, for it to finally, you know, be destroyed and come to an end, you know. So the Lord hears these things, man, and that's why these things is very important, because this is the Lord's day. This is a high holy day the Lord gave to us, you know. So this has just been on the Day of Atonement. Some of the key things that I noticed. With that, I'm gonna say salvation to the elect. Shalom.